Hi, I'm Uncle Lazer. This next caller on Hardly Legal, twists and turns, ups and downs. Do men really get hurt? Are women to blame? Is it just a stab wound? Was it him? Was it her? Documentation's key. Find out next on Hardly Legal.
PeterPan, that's a fake name, but you're a real person. How can we help you on Hardly Legal?
I've got a kind of a complex one, y'all. So one of my ex-girlfriends, a few years ago, she stabbed me in my sleep. It was a pretty violent situation.
Okay, that's very. Let's back up.
Yeah.
What describe what happened?
Well, I was asleep, so I don't recall the stabbing itself. I just woke up.
Okay, that's very serious, and we're sorry it happened to you. Were you asleep in bed with another girl? Did she find your phone? Like, was she having a night terror? What was the reason for the stabby?
From what I can recall, yes, she did have access to my phone.
Oh, so you deserve that.
Hey, come
wow.
on.
Right,
Come
right,
on.
you're
Hey.
right. You're right.
No. Look, hey, sometimes people don't take men being victims seriously, and it's a real thing.
This really happened. So I don't know who that is.
Gonna cut this.
Listen, dude, I gotta live with her day in and day out. She sucks. So
Hey.
let's go, buddy.
All right,
What you got, my
hey,
guy?
Hey, I'm sorry that this happened to you. I actually had an ex that attacked me with a knife. There's a real thing. I get it. It's scary. Also, you care about the person, so you don't know what to do. Your instincts kick in as a man. You're like, I should take care of this person, but I'm in danger. You minimize it. I get it. I'm sorry that happened. What kind of did she? I'm assuming that it hurt you, right? She stabbed you. So like, where did she stab you?
She stabbed me right under my armpit. When I woke up, I discovered that I'd been stabbed because, well, I didn't actually know that I was stabbed at first. I woke up and I was stuck to my sheets, and obviously I was pretty disoriented from the night before. And so when I pulled the sheets off of me, I started bleeding again and saw a lot of blood on the sheets, on the mattress. And she was there in the bed with me.
Were you drinking or were drugs involved?
There were some illegally obtained substances involved.
Okay. So you didn't feel comfortable calling the cops, I'm assuming.
No, didn't call the police.
Did you go to the hospital?
I did not. No. Surprisingly, it was more traumatizing than painful. I think potentially because of the drugs I'd been doing, I really didn't feel much of anything. Like, it wasn't painful. It was just kind of shocking.
Yeah.
There was a lot of blood.
Peter, how big of a entry wound was it? Like, what do you know what she stabbed you with?
Yeah, she actually stabbed me with my own knife, Lazer, which was
Damn it.
pretty disrespectful.
Yeah. Bet she didn't close it either. That's what them women do, dude. But how big of a incision? Like 3-4 inch? I mean, not enough to kill you. You're not bleeding out like a stuck pig. But I mean, like you said, you're more traumatized in pain, which I totally understand that. But I mean, like, you woke up and you're sitting in I'm just trying to get a visual here, bud. That's all I'm trying to do. You're sitting in a pool of your blood under your fucking armpit. Like, walk me through that real quick, because I had a woman try to stab me too, several occasions. Not in my sleep, thank God, but just take me through that real quick. Sorry, I don't mean to. I just want to visually see that.
Yeah.
Just waking up and seeing the blood after I pulled the sheet away, because it reopened the incision. It was pretty small, actually. It was maybe 2, maybe 3 inches. Maybe that's why it didn't hurt as much as maybe I thought it would have, getting stabbed like that. I don't think she really got too deep on me either. So I think it just bled a lot because it was right there under my armpit, and you bleed a lot from your face, and that, I guess, under your armpit you bleed a lot too. I don't know. But there was a lot of blood. So it was pretty shocking. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of unnerving. I mean, I've woken up, covered in a pretty good amount of blood before, so it wasn't anything new.
What? Why?
It was just
I got that.
Yeah.
I got that from him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah.
I feel like me and this guy are really similar.
Well, just from like a legal standpoint, if we're talking about the trauma of it, if it's happened to you multiple times before, that's what a defense attorney would say.
You just don't get to. We don't get to live in a world. I'm sorry, caller. We're taking it very seriously, but you can't just say this wasn't the first time I woke up in a pool of blood and we just move on in the conversation. So, what other times? How does this happen?
Well, I just want to kind of re-stress that I did not deserve this.
I agree.
We agree.
Yes, but you said there were other times you woke up in a pool of blood, so I'm trying to understand the other times.
I was attacked by a young lady's boyfriend, and he assaulted my face, and I was with his fist. I should probably specify with his fist. And I was wearing sunglasses, and it shattered the sunglasses.
That makes a lot of sense because
good.
I've been assaulted at a basketball game where I had a concussion and cracked 3 teeth. So I've woken up and not know where I was and there's blood, but it just wasn't in my bed. So I think now it makes more sense. Yes, that all the picture's all clear. So are you looking to try to get a restraining order? Are you looking to sue? What is the purpose of the call for this stabbing?
Well, that's where it gets kind of tricky, right? Because she actually just died, but I would like to be able to get some sort of, I don't know what you would call it, settlement, payment, maybe from her family or something like. But obviously, I don't need a restraining order because she's no longer with us. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious what my options are there.
Well, luckily, Bill's.
I'm ready.
Bill,
so I'll give you the nutshell, and then we can explore any of it. But you would be suing the estate, or specifically the representative of the estate. It could be the executor, it could be the administrator, depending on what state you're in. But you have to sue that individual in their capacity as the representative of the estate. However, your bigger issue is going to be, how long ago was this?
Probably 5 or 6 years ago, I would say.
Okay. So in almost every state, the statute of limitations for battery or assault, as it's called in some states, is 2 years. So there might be some, exceptions that could apply, but none readily come to mind. Maybe you're in a weird state with some weird laws that has a very unique defense, but statute of limitations is going to be your biggest problem. That all being said, that's not to say that the estate wouldn't have a reason to want to settle with you so that this story doesn't get out and besmirch the name of this now deceased young lady. They may go, oh yeah, hey, you know what? There is some money here. We're going to pay you some money. And so I think the question earlier about was it traumatizing versus was it physical? Everyone's going to want to put this onto a number, right? Is it $500? Is it $500,000? What are you asking for and why? And so even having some medical bills that you had to pay for, or a pronounced armpit limp or whatever it is that you have from getting stabbed underneath, like a scar. Scars are very important, right? So those are the kinds of things that you could create some value from and go to them with a number that says, hey, here's what it is.
And I think there's a problem that you're going to have caller. And even if we can't help you here, I think it's still educational for people that are out there that are in domestic violence situations. When you don't go to the cops, and I get how frustrated it was, you still have the opportunity to get documentation of it. So do you have photographs? Were there text messages where she admitted what she did? Do you have any kind of written or electronic communications around it?
I actually don't, unfortunately.
We want to be honest with you, right? We're here to help you. Sometimes people say a lot of bad stuff about lawyers, and a lot of it is true, but we're not charging you here like it's anonymous. We just want to see you get whatever you can out of this and get justice. And so it's going to be really uphill, even if you can survive the statute of limitations that Bill is talking about on some type of loophole. You're going to have to prove up this case. You're going to need some form of evidence.
Well, with the statute of limitations, he said it was for just battery and assault, right? And it's 2 years. What if, hypothetically, it was also potentially, sexual in nature as well?
Gets interesting.
Okay,
I was thinking about, because New York, go ahead.
Yeah. So some states have a different, they actually have one of the carve-outs for when it's sexual, but oftentimes the tolling issue is that it has to be something that you could not discover. So that's how they kind of do that with some of the Catholic priest cases. It's been repressed, and these are children, so they were not with capacity. So eventually, at some point, they had to have the ability to sue.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a little bit harder. But when you say sexual, what do you mean? Was this in the midst of some kind of kink or something going on, or it went badly, or she took one of your toys and did it? What's the sexual nature?
I'm just speculating here that if hypothetically, when she stabbed me, she also potentially let's
be pragmatic here, right? Because
maybe what?
Yeah, go finish your sentence.
What if she
did you come?
There were a lot of fluids on the bed. There's really no telling.
Fair is fair, Peter.
Fair is fair.
Fair is fair.
So
is this a serious call still?
It was. We're I don't.
You got mad at me for no reason, and then you're saying you came when she stabbed you. So shut up, dude.
Well, that was actually Lazer that pointed out. I was just trying to find a way that potentially I could get, because I mean, it was a real thing that happened to me.
I agree,
I
and
was kind of scared to come out about it because, I don't want to.
Yeah.
But now she's dead, and I don't really have to worry about looking like, less of a
weirdo.
man.
Yeah, you're right.
Fair is fair.
I want to.
So to answer the question about sex assault, in the most serious sex assaults are going to be up to 21 years that you can still bring it to the statute of limitations, but it's going to be pretty hard. Again,
So if she fingered me or something.
If there was evidence of
so the question would be, how did you find out later? Right?
I
It's going to be where some of the story is going to be hard.
Advocating for you, this is the part that I think is hard, right? You were so drunk or on drugs that you didn't even wake up when you were stabbed. So even if she did sexually assault you, it's going to be based on your testimony. And so I think that there's this thing that's tough here, which is like, you're going to say she did this thing that was sexual in nature to me. It's like, okay, well, how do you know that? If you were so messed up that you stayed asleep when you got stabbed, that's why it's like, are there photos? Are there texts? Because if there had been a text where she said, I'm so sorry, I love you, baby, I can't believe I stabbed you, like I my temper got the best of me. Now we have a thread of something. But there's another issue too, and we want the story to be happy for all our callers, but it isn't always, right? And I think this call is an example of like not feeling like we can help you get to the next step. But there's another thing too. You're going to go after the estate. Is she wealthy? Like, is this someone who has a lot of assets?
I think her mom does.
It's just not.
You can't get anything that her mom has, unless her mom passed away and gave it to her, and it's in her estate.
Her mom passed before her too.
Right. The mom would have had to have already passed, left it to the daughter, and then the daughter had the money. There is still the argument that a parent would not want this story out about their kid, and so may be willing to pay. But then again, like, you're gonna have to relive the trauma of going through this all the time, right? Like, a lot of folks without the means or even the kind of gumption to talk about this would say, you got away with your life. This person's dead. What can you do now? And only you can really answer the question of what are your damages at this point.
When after she stabbed you, so you didn't seek any kind of medical help? Did you get it stitched? Because I'm just wondering, can he get his damages paid for to some extent?
The medical bills, medical bills. Sure.
What if he's like fucking peppered in medical bills and he needs?
Do you have medical bills?
I just put duct tape on it, so no, I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't get any.
Okay, so let me ask you this then: is it really about the money? If you didn't really need it, or is it about something else?
It's a great question.
It's a good question.
Because if you want advice on how to tarnish her fucking legacy, you could absolutely do that.
No, I think it's just, I just feel like the money would help me overcome, kind of some of the PTSD and trauma that I've dealt with since then.
Were you gonna go to therapy with any of that money that you got?
No, probably not.
Caller, I appreciate you calling in. Feel free to reach out to us. I think that I want to tell you something that this might not have been what you were hoping for when you called, but I hope that people that are listening kind of get something educational about it. And that's, you can have violence from a girlfriend to a male partner, that it is real, and you need to document it. And if you hide it and you wait to deal with it, it's really hard to deal with. So I really appreciate you calling in. Thank you for calling Hardly Legal.
Thank y'all.
Have a good one.
Take it easy, Peter.
Thoughts?
First off,
I was with you in the beginning.
Hang on.
First off, in the beginning, I didn't know. I was like, are they throwing us a curveball in the last one?
I thought it.
Are they gonna be? Are they making it funny? Like Jessica, we're dying laughing. And what was in that weed, Nathaniel? What was in that goddamn weed?
Beautiful.
Hey, pretty eyes. What was in that dope?
Hey, sweet ass.
Hang on, dude. I thought I'm like, is this call real the entire time?
Well, he laughed. He was laughing. He was laughing. The adult in the room lost the narrative.
Dude,
I was like, genuinely.
I'm not gonna lie. When I heard him telling it, I was like,
it sounded like he was making it up.
I was like, is he making?
Bro.
But I thought it was gonna.
We got high in the parking lot and
less serious.
We got high in the parking lot, and our first call is, my girlfriend stabbed me a bunch of times in my sleep, and I liked it sexually. Can I sue her fucking family? And then he's like, hey, and then it got into a serious conversation
really
about male domestic violence, which I agree with. I'm just fucking around because I thought this was a funny podcast. I didn't know this was a serious male. Did I get tricked? Did you trick me on this?
You were tricked. This was actually.
I want to say that your critique is valid.
Oh, fuck you. Don't use psycho talk on me, you cocksucker. Don't do that right now. I am too high.
Your feelings are hurt. We're going to take it under consideration.
First of all, you look Polish. Put those hands down.
Thank you so much for joining Hardly Legal.
Arabian.
We're going to go ahead and mute her mic and finish this out. So,
Dude, I'm too. I didn't know if this is satirical.
I didn't know what to expect today. This is the best podcast I've ever fucking been on.
The show is so crazy. It's hard
so
to
creative,
explain
bro.
what it is, though, because the show is not one thing. It's not like, hey, we're gonna throw you
It's many
fastballs.
elements.
It's not 10 people that got shoplifting and we're gonna riff on shoplifting.
No.
It
Like
is-
it's,
But I love
everyone
those-
is freaking different.
Bro, if y'all bottle this correctly, this is.
Thank you.
This
Can
is
I
top
just
10
say
in the
that
world
that
type shit,
that a
seriously.
thing that I
Thank
love,
you.
especially when it comes to bring this over to comedy. The thing that I love about comedy is I don't care about those shows that make you laugh every fucking 10 seconds. Like I don't care
Right,
about comics
right.
like that.
Yeah.
I love comedy and comedians that take you through a range of emotions.
Yes.
But the end makes you leave out a lighter note.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Like I want to make you upset and angry, and I want you to feel grossed out. But then I want that relief because that breaks the tension.
Yeah.
the people that, and it's funny, we had genuine laughs with the woman with cancer, who's probably the most serious of the callers that we
Yeah.
had
She's a
today.
sweetheart.
But she was still able, in the face of a real claim and real discrimination and cancer, we were all able to laugh. And that's where comedy comes
That's
from.
what
Comedy
comedy
comes from,
is.
if you're a comedian, you have to be able to look into the darkness. You have to be able to look into the void. And I just want to make a parallel to it. Law sucks, right? Like when you're doing law, you're seeing people on their worst day. When you do comedy, you get to see people on their best day. They're going out one day that week. It's your day. They're fucked up. They're having a good time. When we do this, there's this balancing act, and like we're still figuring it out. So you're right. The show is all over the place, and even sometimes we get like a page of notes. That woman was
Off
talked to
script.
45 minutes before the other guy talked to her for 45 minutes with a page of notes. Doesn't say cancer at all.
She
in it.
off
So
scripted.
you got to just be able to.
But that
like-
was probably the best part of it. You see,
Yeah.
it's the off-kiltered shit. It's the shit you don't anticipate that comes up, and it gives that human element to it, right?
Yeah.
So not only is she like getting fucked and not getting paid correctly, she's got fucking kids. She's not getting denied days off and have to come in on Christmas because she's got cancer, bro. So like my mama had cancer. A lot of people I know had cancer. So like that comes from a place of like of relevancy. It comes from it's relatability. So like what she was talking about, I could feel that. You know what I'm saying? Now getting stabbed while some girl's jerking me off, I can feel that too. You know, fair's fair.
Who hasn't
Peter.
been there?
That was
Fair's
the most
fair.
serious
Okay.
conversation about somebody getting jerked off and stabbed by
But the
their
way when he
girlfriend.
reprimanded, because we're all laughing.
But
and-
notice the layers. At first, it was this. All of a sudden, she stabbed me.
Well, and sometimes
I loved it.
Sometimes callers want to laugh with us. I also think as the show gets bigger and
He
people
was
really
sensitive.
know,
He was
Yes.
he was
And
overly sensitive.
He was
I'm with you.
justifiably
Yeah, overly
sensitive.
sensitive.
He was
We're never going to be able to
justifiably-
air. I can't edit around all the shit.
No,
that
no,
was said
no.
today.
He was justified 100% because that shit does happen.
But
Like
then-
you said,
I had a real. I'll tell you, this is 100% real. Okay, I dated a girl for about a year and a half, and I won't even. Well, actually, I'll get into it. Like we were together for like 3 weeks, and she said she was on the pill, and she wasn't. She got pregnant, and then said she was
shit.
going to keep it. So we're talking about like 5
Oh,
weeks into
buddy.
meeting her. Total mental
Mindfuck.
trip, mind fuck for me. And so I, had a conversation with her. I'm like, this was like 8 years ago. I'm like, I'm not really ready for a kid. Like, she's like, I'm keeping it. So I got over it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be a dad. I'm gonna do. 2 months later, she miscarries, and out of like guilt and love and this weird hostage syndrome, I stayed with her for like another year and a couple months. Towards the end of it, she was violent. She pulled a knife on me at one point. She pulled a gun and put it to her head, a loaded gun, and put it to her head. And the cops came out and they took her for a 72-hour hold, which was like, and this was not like, I did not rush to that. We're talking about like after like a dozen instances, they put her in a hold. And the firefighter took me aside and he was like, son, if you don't leave right now, you're going to die. Like, and I left. But like that was the breakup moment. And so I am 220 pounds, 6'1". This girl was like 5'2". And I was terrified for like the last 2 months because she was like, if you break up with me, I'll kill myself. And
Like straight up said that?
multiple times. So like I empathize with where the caller could have been. And I, again, not to make it political or whatever, but like sometimes we forget about guys in this situation and we diminish the pain and we diminish the suffering, and it's real. And if you're watching this, okay, and you're thinking, what do? I don't want to call the cops. This person's going to hurt themselves. The number one thing is to take care of yourself first. It's kind of like a oxygen mask on a plane. If you can't take care of yourself, then you're not taking care of someone else. The second thing is if there's a crime being committed against you, you at a minimum have to document it. Because
yeah,
even
he
if
should have got video evidence, text, pictures.
But can I
something.
also just say that Jessica's right?
I don't
you
think the
questioned
phone
it
call-
right off the bat. You were like, you made a joke about
what'd you do? Yeah.
what
Yeah,
did you
what'd
do?
And then here's the thing: is if it sounded the phone call, first of all, the phone call sounded bullshit straight off the bat, And so, like, of course, I know people in domestic violence. We handle stuff with humor. That's why I was fucking around. A woman's
fine.
mentality. A woman's mentality is, why'd you deserve it? Because that sounds like someone with borderline would fucking do. Because they rationalize themselves why you deserve it before anything
I don't
else.
think it's what you said. I think maybe the tone threw him off a little. Because I even was like, did she find your phone? He's like, yeah, she found the phone. So like, I'm even saying, did you cheat?
Yeah.
I'm saying it in just slightly different.
Yeah.
And so,
No, you said a different context because you're an asshole.
because
you're lonely.
but
I
you've
also
seen
you're
it.
projecting.
You've seen it.
No, I'm not. I was right.
That's what a projector would say. No, but I'm with you. But I like that you cut through it because eventually, at the end, this is from the legal side. It does matter because notice how he's hedging the story. He has there's nothing to lose. He just tell us it's anonymous, right?
Yeah.
It's his own shame. But when you're telling a story to your lawyer, we deal with this all the time, where we're like, yeah, but why? Why did you take that money? Why did they breach the contract? And you start digging, and it turns out they don't have clean hands either. But you can't deal with that in the moment up front. You have to deal with it at trial in front of a jury. So the fact that we're now edging it out of him, I thought you were doing the right thing. It's just like, what happened?
Yeah, because I did the
real
same thing
story.
even with my female friends that say shit. Well, what happened? And a lot of times you get these situations, and I'm not blaming him. Of course, men get fucking hurt all the time. You know what I mean? I do the same thing with my girlfriends because I have seen domestic violence on both sides. It's a fucking you wear out your friends and all your relationships before you even leave. So there's an element of, okay, I understand. Yes, that happened. Were you really sleeping? What happened beforehand?
What's the truth
It
of it?
sounds
What's the
unbelievable.
truth
If
of
you
it?
just take it on the surface.
Well, the fact that he said he comes to it, why is that necessary? Well, is it you heard him at the end?
Yeah.
I didn't think he come from the stabbing. I think he said that they had been doing things and then the stabbing occurred, but he was on drugs and didn't necessarily know when it happened. But he did say fluids. He did say there were fluids.
There were fluids exchange. That's the thing that makes me feel like, okay, how authentic is this call? Because it makes me seem like, well, is it illegal? Is it still illegal if I liked it? Okay, what are we doing? So maybe it's his fault for faking a phone call and making fun of men's domestic violence rights.
Wouldn't be
dude,
surprised.
Men
No,
get hurt.
it's 100%.
So here's what I would say on that front is the reason why I would say that even if his articulation of it seems somewhat unbelievable, like the fact that he was asking for money from it is actually not like that to me.
It's
Seemed like
diabolical.
it seemed like kind of the way he described wanting the money was like so basic. I was like, there's no one's faking this.
Well,
also it's
7 years later too, though.
Well,
but he's
there's
probably
a lot.
faking.
There's so many things going on. Okay. As a lawyer, right? I would not take this. Like I'm fortunate enough that like I'm not really, I'm not wealthy at all, but like I'm also not worried about how I pay rent next month. So it's like I say no to people, especially like if I don't want to work with that or I don't believe in the case. You say no a lot.
I say no a lot.
I would not work with this, and I would tell the person, and you're healthy. You put this in the past. Move on. Like even if you could win some money,
What are you gonna wrangle $10,000 out of this dead girl's mom?
right. So it's like
Over some sex play?
I could see him wanting to sue the mom because the mom did this or the mom didn't help. I told the mom and the mom did nothing, or the mom did something. Why would you want to sue her mom? What did she do?
No, just to get the money. Yeah, I think it was just a money play.
This has been an insane conversation, and we want you to chime in, jump in that comment section, tell us what side of this you're on, who's at fault, which one of us said the most offensive thing. I apologize in advance to our editor. This is hardly legal.
Hey, hang on.
I mean, it's
Well,
better than
yeah, we're
barely.
done. She's dead now.
She's dead.
No one brought that into. What if it's total plot twist? What if he stabbed her in the armpit?
What if he killed her?
And he's seeing if he can extract money
we
out of the
did
mother.
gloss very quickly
We
over
glossed-
the.
oh,
this
hang
woman
on,
how
is
did she
stabbed.
die?
He has a motive.
That's what I'm fucking saying, boy. Look, men get hurt.
Put the
okay?
camera back on.
Men get hurt. That's why there's poppers.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to be here for you when you need that cheap date.